Hey guys, and Happy New Year! If this is your first time at Community Group, welcome. We are so glad you're here. So, a lot of you might not know me. Let me just take a second to introduce myself. My name is Emily, and I've been supporting high school ministries for about a year and a half, but mostly back-end stuff. So, a lot of you I have not gotten a chance to meet yet. I live here in Madison. I live right near West High School. Go Regions. I live with my husband and my two daughters, and today I get to be with you because I get to introduce the new series called Foundations. And I love this title, Foundations, because Christian faith is like a home, a place that we're all invited to live in. And today and over the next few weeks, we get to explore what makes up this faith. So what is the foundation of this faith? And whether you are the first time here tonight or you have been coming for years, we really hope that this is a chance for us to understand this house called Christianity, this home called Christianity. And then we get to kind of dig deeper or reflect on what makes up this faith, what the foundational concepts are to being a Christ follower, to being a Christian. And we're going to start off by talking about God. And they brought a newbie in to talk about it? Because I can tell you, in 5 minutes, there is no way I can fully describe God. I don't think if you gave me all night, I could do it justice because he is so big and he is so awesome. But I can do my best to kind of launch the series. And I'm going to share a couple verses, a couple scriptures that will kind of get us a better understanding of who he is and why he is so important in our Christian faith. And I can tell you right now, I don't fully understand God right now, but I can tell you that it is really easy to know him, to get to know him, and it is super easy to love him. And I also know that he loves me, he loves you, and he wants to have a relationship with us. All right, so speaking of love, let's start out with an activity. When you guys get back into your small groups, you get a chance to kind of share about something that you really love. Something that you adore or that you could just rave on about, right? So it could be a book or a movie. It could be a activity or a sport that you really like. It could be a place that you go to, like a coffee shop or something like that. And let me give you an example for me. So I love, my favorite place in Madison is Lake Wingra. Specifically, my favorite place is to be on my stand-up paddleboard on Lake Wingra. I don't care who I'm with. I could be with my girls or my husband or my friends, or I could be totally alone. I love it because you can just go out there and be away from everything. You can just be in nature, and it's so beautiful and so calm out there. Sometimes you can it can be a really big workout, especially if there's a wind coming across. You could work really hard paddling across the lake, and then you just sit back and relax as you float back with the waves back home. It's great. I actually love it so much that, do you guys remember there was about 4 weeks ago when we had that really warm day? It was about 70 degrees. So I decided I'm going out on my board. I took my board down to Lake Wingra. I actually have a picture. I'm going to try to show you a video. There was a layer of ice on the lake, and I'm pushing through it and cracking through the ice as I'm going through. The wind was blowing the 70-degree air right at me, so I had to go against the wind. And I stopped to take a video, and you can see how fast I'm moving backwards, but I just want you to listen to see the sound of the ice cracking against these rocks. Okay. Can I slip it? Do you see? Oh my gosh, do you see the little ice breaking up? Anyway, okay, I'll stop gushing. As you can tell, I love it. It's one of my favorite places. But the Bible has a name for this kind of stuff. And when you gush, when you rave about something that you love, and it's called praise, right? And if you look in the Bible, there are a lot of places, poems and scriptures where people are praising God because they love him so much. And they're praising about who he is. One of these scriptures that I thought it would be helpful to share to get us kind of an understanding is Psalm 8. So I'm just going to read it to us real quick. I'm going to start on verse 3. When I consider your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars, what is man that you are mindful of him, the son of man that you care for him? You made him a little lower than the heavenly beings. You crowned him with glory and with honor. You made him rule over the works of your hands. You put everything under his feet. All the flocks and the herds and the beasts of the field and the birds of the air and the fish of the sea, all that swim the paths of the seas. O Lord, our Lord, how majestic is your name in all earth. So I love this poem because it talks about how big God is, right? How he made everything and how he loves it. He loves us. He made this for us. He created all these things and he cares about each one of us. And he wants to be a part of our lives, which is amazing because you can look back at the beginning of the Bible, right? In Genesis, it clearly describes how he just spoke the universe into existence. And yet he cares about every single one of us. So awesome. So we know now who he is. He's our creator and he loves us and he loves all things. But what is he like? So there's a chapter or a section of the Bible in Exodus. Actually, God describes himself to a man named Moses. So I'm going to read this. This is Exodus chapter 34. I'm going to read verses 6 and 7. And this is God describing himself. The Lord, the compassionate and gracious God, slow to anger, thank you, abounding in love and faithfulness, maintaining love to thousands, and forgiving wickedness, rebellion, and sin. Yet he does not leave the guilty unpunished. He punishes the children and their children for the sin of the fathers to the third and the fourth generation. I love this because he describes himself as a relational God. He's not some God that's like over us, barking down orders or acting irrationally, right? He rescues us. He stays with us in the hard times. He's gracious. He's faithful. He's slow to anger. He's just. He gives us time to change if we need to change, but he just doesn't let us off, right? He wants to help us make the best decisions. This is our God. I'm just going to read again. He's overflowing with love, with compassion, with forgiveness, with justice. And he loves me and he loves you. He's this awesome God and he loves us unconditionally. Okay, he doesn't love us, right, for what we did or what we didn't do. He just loves us all of the time. I just can't get over it. And the thing, he loves us and he loves the people that we don't necessarily want to love. It doesn't matter what we do. He loves us all of the time and he wants to be a part of our lives. God is amazing, isn't he? So I'm going to transition us back into our small groups right now as you guys talk more about God, who he is, and why he is so important. Just know that I will be praying for you. And I hope that this is a time where you guys can get to know God better and get to know one another better as you explore the foundations of our faith. Have a great day.